So I often used to go crazy thinking of the endless list of things that I had to accomplish, from going to class, going to work, doing homework, cooking healthy food, eating it, exercising, getting 8 hours of sleep, calling my mom, magnifying my church calling, going to the temple, making cookies for the boy next door whose hedgehog just died, doing my laundry, writing in my journal, calling my sister, and the list goes on and on. And I'm sure you have a similar list that you can relate to. I know that the worry and the stress that come with juggling all of this has often led me to many anxious thoughts and behaviors. And while never being clinically diagnosed with anxiety, I am positive that my levels of anxiety in the past have been well above normal. And according to the Anxiety and Depression Association of America, anxiety disorders are one of the most common mental health problems on any given college campus. And thinking about my own experiences, this doesn't surprise me at all, that so many of us get so overwhelmed mentally and emotionally. With so much to do and so little time to do it, we often prioritize our time, putting school and work at the top, and then oftentimes things like exercise towards the bottom. I know I've done that in the past. But in order for our mental health to improve on college campuses, as well as all over the world, we need to make time for exercise. So for me, I've always loved being active, where like running, swimming, hiking, working out at the gym, doing sports, you name it. I've always loved it. But when I've thought about the physical benefits that I get from all these activities that I do, I've always thought about the physical benefits. Like I said, I thought about the disease prevention, a healthier heart, a stronger, quicker, better looking body. And it wasn't until recently that I've actually thought more about the mental and emotional benefits. And I even have been motivated recently by just the emotional feelings that I get after exercising. And I realized this, it was about 6 months ago, and I was just super bogged down with school, and I hadn't made any time to exercise for a week or two, and my mood was just shot. I was not happy. And I realized that when I get a workout in, there's this direct correlation with my mood and working out. And so now, if I ever feel stressed or not in the best mood, I just lace up my shoes and I go run it out, and I always feel happier afterwards than I did before. And so one of my favorite little pictures that I got just off an exerciser's blog is this happy face running on a treadmill, because I think that it just personifies what I feel when I'm running so well. And this is something that has actually been proven scientifically by many. So in their book entitled Exercise for Mood and Anxiety, Proven Strategies for Overcoming Depression and Enhancing Well-Being, Michael Otto and Jasper Smits, both university psychology professors specializing in anxiety treatment and exercise, elaborate on this idea that exercise can help overcome these negative feelings. You know, they wrote a whole book about it. And in that book, there's a study of 55,000 adults in the United States and Canada, and they found that those who exercise had fewer symptoms of anxiety and depression. So exercise does prevent anxiety and depression. And not only does it prevent it, but it also, in many cases, can treat both anxiety and depression. So in another study done by Dr. James Blumenthal, a neuroscience at Duke University specializing in depression, 156 adults with major depressive disorder were either put on a 4-month exercise program or they were treated with antidepressants for 4 months. And then there was another group that had a combination of the two. And after 4 months, they noticed that a good number from all the groups recovered from depression from the treatment. So they were no longer met the criteria to be diagnosed with major depressive disorder. And so that's good. But then after 10 months, they realized that the rate of relapse was so much lower in the group that was on the exercise treatment. And so this just proves that exercising therapy is an effective way to treat those with major depressive disorder. And in many cases, it's more effective and long-lasting than other treatment methods. And along those same lines, sports and exercise psychologist J. Kip Matthews, explains that studies have linked low levels of serotonin and norepinephrine to depression. So those big words, those are neurochemicals that are released in our brains when we exercise. And not only that reduces depression, but he also explains that, when we're learning to do anything, we learn how to do it better by doing it. And so he explains that our body learns how to respond to stress by exercising, because when we exercise, we're stressing our bodies. And so the more we do it, the better that we will respond to stress. So when other stressors in our lives come about, we'll be able to know how to respond to those stressors better than getting depressed or getting anxious. And I completely believe that and completely agree with it. And so, in my own experiences, exercise has always made me happier after the workout than I was before the workout. And I've only gone over just a small fraction of my own personal experiences, as well as the experiences of others and the studies of others. That really is evidence to prove that exercise increases our well-being. Our motivation for working out should not only be the physical benefits, but also the mental and emotional benefits that come with exercise. And I promise that if we make time for exercise, we will see the difference that it makes to our bodies and our souls, and it will help us to become happier people.